Good morning, guys. I'm Mr. Cook. I am a fifth grade teacher, and I am so excited that I get to share my love of reading with you. So, I wanted to go on this journey with you that today we are going to read some books and spark one of the greatest tools we have, and that is our imagination. Because sometimes I feel like we might think that, oh, I'm stuck at home, there's nothing to do, I can't do anything, I can't go anywhere. But you're really just forgetting about your imagination and your ability to think. And the things that you can think are incredible. And you can have so much fun. You can go on so many great adventures as you use your imagination. Okay? So I want you to think about what it would be like if you think about your backyard. Do you have grass back there? Maybe it's you have a desert, or even you could maybe have a garden. Have you really explored that garden and explored that area and see what's in there? What would it be like? What would it be like to live in there? Well, the first story that I wanted to read to you today is a story called Over in the Garden. Now, the reason why I wanted to read it to you was my oldest son, I used to read this to him all the time. And he's actually all grown up now. He's a senior in high school and he's going to be leaving pretty soon. And so, in order to honor him, I wanted to read this to you. Now, here's the book. And as you can see, it has been well loved. We don't even have the cover anymore. That's how much we've loved this book. Now, some fun things about this book. In every page, the illustrator has hidden some numbers at each page. He's also hidden a clue for what the next creature we're going to meet on the next page. So as we read this, I want you to look to see if you can find those hidden gems in the book. Okay. So another thing that we're going to do a little bit differently is when I like to read with my family and my kids, I like to have them sit on my lap or right next to me so that we can read the story together. And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to actually put the book up so that you can read it with me. Does that sound good? Okay, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, make sure that you're muted so that you can hear. Okay, can you see that okay? Hope so, because here we go. And again, look for the numbers and look for a clue. What's the next creature we're going to learn? Here we go. Over in the garden in the early morning sun lived a mother praying mantis and her little mantis one. Pounce, said the mother, I pounce, said the one. So they pounced and they hunted in the early morning sun. Hey guys, you can't hear me if you're muted. Please mute. Please mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, can you find the number? I'll give you a clue. It's over on this side. Do you see it? And I wonder what creature we're going to meet next. Might it be the ladybug? Let's see. It was.
Showing anything.
It's not showing anything? Can you see that?
I just see Mr. Oliver's. But I don't see anything. Like I don't see any pictures or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you change your view so that whoever's speaking is big on the screen instead of as a grid? Perhaps that'll help.
It's good.
Okay. Okay, and then please mute yourself so that we can hear. Here we go. Over in the garden where the sunflowers grew lived a mother ladybug and her little beetles too. Crawl, said the mother, we crawl, said the two, so they crawled over petals where the sunflowers grew. You see the two? I wonder if those are the next creatures we're going to meet. Over in the garden near the old shady tree lived a mother dragonfly and her little dragons three. Zip, said the mother, we zip, said the three, so they zipped and they zoomed near the old shady tree. You see the three? Oh, there it is down there. Down here, down the bottom corner. What creature are we going to meet next? Those look really, really small. Maybe they're going to get really big. Ah, there they are. Over in the garden on the damp, earthy floor lived a quiet mother snail and a baby snails four. Slither, said the mother, we slither, said the four. So they slithered and they slid on the damp, earthy floor. Where's that four? Do you see it down here in the corner? And what insect? Oh, maybe it's a bee. Over in the garden where the apple blossoms thrive lived a colony of bees and their little bees five. Buzz, said the workers, we buzz, said the five. So they buzzed and they flew where the apple blossoms thrive. Ooh, up here, there's the five. And that looks like it was made by a spider. Over in the garden where the vines and berries mix lived a little mother spider and her baby spiders six. Jump, said the mother, we jump, said the six. So they jumped through the garden where the vines and berries mix. Oh, look, look, there's a six right there. And a butterfly. Over in the garden where the flowers grow toward heaven lived a mother butterfly and her caterpillars seven. Nibble, said the mother, we nibble, said the seven. So they nibbled and they climbed where the flowers grew toward heaven. Oh, there's a seven right there. What animal? Maybe they're these ones down here. Over in the garden by the old wooden gate lived a mother roly-poly and her little babies eight. Roll, said the mother, we roll, said the eight. So they rolled and they curled by the old wooden gate. Look, that eight, it's on the gate. That's fun to rhyme. Ooh, look, an ant. Over in the garden on a long curly vine crawled a group of soldier ants and their little workers nine. March, said the soldiers, we march, said the nine. So they marched and they crawled up the long curly vine. Now, a lot of those vines look like they're making the number 9. Are those fireflies off in the distance? Over in the garden where the moon shines again lived a mother firefly and her little beetles 10. Glow, said the mother, we glow, said the 10. So they glowed and they flashed where the moon shines again. Do you see the 10? Oh, here it is in the petals. I really love the animation of the illustration of this story. So were you able to find them? Hopefully you're able to find them. Oh, I really like that story. I hope you enjoyed it too. Now, the next story I wanted to read to you, if it's okay, is one that has a whole lot of funny words. Now, one thing I love about the English language is that it is mixed up of a mixture of so many different languages. So there's all sorts of different words and all sorts of different rules that some of them don't even make sense. But they're a lot of fun because we can play with words and we can imagine different words and create words that mean whatever we want them to mean as we use our imagination. So the next story I want to read is called Double Trouble in Walla Walla. This one has a whole bunch of funny words. Now, whenever you're doing a read aloud, And you read at home or read in your own mind. It's fun to imagine yourself as those different characters and to create a voice for them, a personality for them. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my best to create voices for each one of these characters. Now, these are just what they would sound like, but it could be anybody or anything. So you can decide what you want them to look like. Okay? So here we go. Double Trouble in Walla Walla. Ooh, they're at school. Okay, can we see? I think so. Okay. It was an ordinary Monday morning in Walla Walla until Lulu raised her hand in class. Mrs. Bell, I feel like a nitwit. My homework is all higgledy-piggledy. Last night it was in tip-top shape, but now it's a big mishmash. Mrs. Bell said, Nitwit? Higgledy-piggledy? Mishmash? Lulu, stop that flip-flop chitter-chatter or you'll be in double trouble. Lulu said, but I'm not trying to flip-flop chit-chat. I just have an itty-bitty problem with my homework. Mrs. Bell scowled. All right for you, Lulu. If you're going to shilly-shally and dilly-dally with all this fancy-schmancy yak-yak, then we'll just have to trot down to the principal's office. Uh-oh. So Mrs. Bell hurried Lulu down the hall, and they burst into the principal's office. Look, look. Come, come. Mr. Thomas said, What's all the hubbub about? Mrs. Bell said, Lulu's been trying to razzle-dazzle me with some kind of lippity-loppity jibba-jabba, and now I'm all helter-skelter myself. Mr. Thomas raised his eyebrows. Tut-tut, sounds like silly-willy hocus-pocus to me. Mrs. Bell's mouth dropped open. She pointed to the principal and said, Eka-freka, Lulu's got your tongue all topsy-turvy too. Now, don't get the jim-jams, Mrs. Bell. Let's give the nurse a yoo-hoo. Mr. Thomas picked up his phone and said, Mrs. Carter, I'm going to pitter-patter over to your office. Okie dokie. Uh-oh. All three went across the hall to the nurse's office. Mr. Thomas said, Howdy doody, Mrs. Carter. We're a little wacko-wacko. Lulu's got us talking this sing-song claptrap like we're cuckoo. Mrs. Carter smiled at Lulu and said, Oh, fiddle-faddle. Lulu and I are palsy-wowsies. She wouldn't try that kind of phony-baloney tutti-frutti-flim-flam. Lulu and her teacher and the principal stared at the nurse. Lulu said, Wowsy-zowsy. Mrs. Bell said, Jeepers creepers. And Mr. Thomas said, Holy moly, you're in the same hodgepodge we are. I'd better give the superintendent a jingle-jangle chop-chop. Wait a ding-dong tick-tock, shouted the nurse. If you chit-chat with the bigwig, then he'll yak-yak like Lulu, too. If we're not very, very hush-hush about this, there could be a mongo-mongo brain drain, and everybody in Walla Walla will be talking like a herky-jerky-ding-a-ling. Then the nurse turned to Lulu. Lulu, let's get to the nitty-gritty. When did all this mumbo-jumbo start? Lulu gulped. She said, In English class, I had an itsy-bitsy problem with my homework, and then zip-zap. Mrs. Bell said talking like this was a no-no. The nurse looked over the top of her glasses at Lulu. Something like this would not just happen willy-nilly. Now, Lulu, think extra hard and tell me what you did yesterday. Well, said Lulu, It was a humdrum day. I was practicing ballet in my tutu, and my little brother Bobo asked me to play on the teeter-totter. We seesawed until Bobo slipped off and got a boo-boo and started to boo-hoo. Mama and Papa came running pell-mell, so I went inside and splish-splashed in a rub-a-dub tub, and then hip-hopped into my cuddly-wuddly Betty. I said night-night to Mama and Papa and Bobo and fell asleep in a snip-snap. That's all I did. Honest. Mrs. Carter said, Lulu, it seems to me that you've opened up a knock'em sock'em wibble wobble word warp. I usually don't believe in this kind of hoodoo bunko junko, but if it was gonna happen anywhere, it would probably happen right here in Walla Walla. Mrs. Bell said, Let's not quibble quabble, Mrs. Carter. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies for all this razzmatazz. What can we do? Well, we should say all the rootin' tootin' crinkin' crankin' woolly bully words we can think of. Maybe that will clear the air and close the warp. Worth a try? Asked Nurse Carter. Mr. Thomas said, Aye, aye. Mrs. Bell said, Let's do. And Lulu said, Uh-huh. Nurse Carter closed the door to her office. Then she turned around and said, Lulu, let's get this harum-scarum show on the road. Lulu stood right up and blurted out, Ticky-tacky knick-knack, coochie-coochie-coo, hubba-hubba, Roger daughter, ooey-gooey-goo. Mrs. Carter cleared her throat and said, Hugger-mugger, hobnob, pitter-a-patter, bon-bon, wishy-washy, squish-squash, handy-dandy, mish-mosh. Mr. Thomas closed his eyes and started slowly, but picked up speed. Beansy, choo-choo, teeny-tiny, hurdy-gurdy, roly-poly, rag-tag, hurly-burly, riff-raff, rumble-tumble, hip-hop, teeny-weeny, pop-top, namby-pamby, dippy-dippy, hoity-toity, hot-shot. And then Miss Bell stood up and took a deep breath. Pot, vroom, vroom, honk, honk, zoom, zoom, zig-zag, clank, clank, slam, bam, bender, banner, bingy, dingy, cling, clang, ring-a-ding, boing, boing, ring-a-ling, zing, zing, bing, bang, boom. Never, wing, wham, turkey, lurkey, hom, tom, tom, tootsie, wootsy, tattle, tattle, tee-hee-hee. And then, without warning, words flooded the air. Fuzzy, wuzzy, fuddy, duddy, loosey, goosey, lovey, dovey, kissy, kissy, huggy, huggy, rinky, dinka, doo. Gaga rah rah goo goo so frou goo goo poo woo rinky dinky arf argy bargy woof woof boogie woogie bow wow super duper pooper scooper clippity cloppity hippity hoppity clickety clackety rickety rackety blah 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 ba 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 ha click clop drip drop click clack rick rack eager beaver lucky ducky comfy fat cat hee haw tweet chirp cheep cluck quack yuck Woo! Bozo, yo, hey, day, hokey pokey, hanky panky, goody, yummy, tum, gimme, gobble, jelly belly, dum. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, better, had a, oughta, ship, shape, some, pump, arky, breaky, doo, dad. Fi, my, rad bag, tie dye, beep, ho, pa, do, roota, toot, looky, dooky, local, yoko, voodoo, clang, yin, yang, ching, wing, ding, pow, wow, cow, tow, peg, leg, jet, set, Georgie, hunkum, henny, penny, humpty, dumpty. And then suddenly, silence. Lulu, Mrs. Bell, and Mr. Thomas slumped into chairs, and Mrs. Carter flopped onto the cot against the wall. Was it over? No one dared to speak. Lulu whispered, Mrs. Carter, may I please have a drink of water? Mrs. Carter sat up and said, Of course you may, my dear. Mrs. Bell smiled weakly at the principal and said, You were magnificent, sir. Mr. Thomas perked up and smiled at everyone. He straightened his tie and said, I think we've done it, people. Mrs. Carter sat down at her desk and went back to checking over her posture records. Mr. Thomas walked across the hall to his office and went back to the letter he was writing. Lulu followed Mrs. Bell down the hallway and soon had her English homework all straightened up. And after English, it was just an ordinary Monday in Walla Walla. Bye-bye, Miss Ding Dong. Ta-ta, Lulu. The end. Whew! Those are some crazy words. And those are all words that you can find in books, and you'll even, if you hear them on shows, or you might even hear your parents say some of those. So look out for those funny words, and you can create your own. Okie dokie. Well, if it's all right with you, I'm going to read a couple more stories. So, thinking about other things that we could be doing, I was thinking about Mr. Oliver. Mr. Oliver has talked about as soon as we get back in August, we're going to have such a huge party. So as we say hi to everybody, we get to give hugs and just be together again. It's going to be so awesome. But right now, we might think, I can't have a party. I'm all by myself, just with my family. But that's when our imagination can come in. So you can think about, what would I invite, or who would I invite to a party? And what would I invite? What would I make at that party so for people could eat? So that's what leads me to our next story. Is perhaps if you had a party, you would invite dragons, and dragons love tacos. Okay, so I'm going to read this one to you, if that's okay. Dragons Love Tacos by Adam Rubin. Taco Cave. Hey, kid. Hey, did you know that dragons love tacos? They love beef tacos and chicken tacos. They love really big, gigantic tacos and tiny little baby tacos as well. I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't. Okay, cool. Why do dragons love tacos? Uh, Maybe it's the smell from the sizzling pan. Maybe it's the crunch of the crispy tortillas. Maybe it's a secret. Either way, if you want to make friends with dragons, tacos are key. Hey, dragon, why do you guys love tacos so much? Oh, hey, but wait. As much as dragons love tacos, they hate spicy salsa even more. They hate spicy green salsa and spicy red salsa. They hate spicy chunky salsa and spicy smooth salsa. Uh, uh, so if the salsa is spicy at all, dragons can't stand it. So be aware, dude. Okay, no salsa. But why do dragons hate spicy salsa? Well, just one drop of hot sauce makes a dragon's ears smoke. Just one single speck of hot pepper makes a dragon's snort sparks. Spicy salsa gives dragons the tummy troubles. And when dragons get the tummy troubles, oh boy! So, if you want to make tacos for dragons, keep the toppings mild, dude. Tomatoes, check. Lettuce, check. Cheese, check. These are all good toppings for tacos for dragons. Hey, dragon! How do you feel about a spicy taco toppings? Oh, I don't think he's too cool about it, dude. Yeah, I get the impression not cool. Dragons love parties. Uh, they love costume parties and pool parties. They like big, gigantic parties with accordions and tiny little parties with charades. Or, oh, charades, dude, that's charades. So, why do dragons love parties? Well, maybe it's the conversation. Maybe it's the dancing. Maybe it's the comforting sound of a good friend's laughter. The only thing dragons love more than parties or tacos is taco parties. No, taco parties are parties with lots of tacos. So if you want to have some dragons over for a taco party, you'll need buckets of tacos, pant loads of tacos. That's funny to think about. The best way to judge is to get a boat and fill the boat with tacos. That's about how many tacos dragons need for a taco party. After all, dragons love tacos. Hey, Dragon, are you excited for the big taco party? Oh, yeah, that's going to be so cool. But just remember, dragons hate spicy salsa. Before you host your taco party with dragons, get rid of all the spicy salsa. In fact, bury the spicy salsa in the backyard so the dragons can't find it. See, that dude's wise. He's doing it right. Dude, these dragons love your taco party. They love the music. They love the decorations. They especially love the tacos. Congratulations. Dude, you imagine how cool that would be? Dragons and tacos. Totally awesome. It's so good you got rid of all that spicy. Uh, Wait a second. What are those little green things in the salsa? You didn't read the fine print? Totally mild salsa. Cool. Now with spicy jalapeno peppers? Mm. Okay. Dragons, listen to me. Do not eat those tacos. Those little green specks in the salsa, those are jalapeno peppers. They are super spicy. Listen, I know you love tacos, dragons, but you are not going to love those tacos. Uh, do not let those dragons eat those tacos. Oh, no. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Not feeling good about this, dude. Oh, please mute yourself. I can hear you. Too late. Ooh, man. Whoa. Ew, not good, dude. Uh, 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 Dude, Mom might not like this one very much. She might notice you had dragons over. Barely. Whoa. Um, well, why would dragons help you rebuild your house? Uh, maybe they're good Samaritans. Yeah. Uh, Maybe they feel bad for wrecking it. That could be it. Maybe they're just in it for the taco breaks. Yeah, that could be it too. After all, dude, dragons love tacos. The end. you imagine what that'd be like? Yeah, I think your mom might notice if you had a dragons over for your party. But I don't know. It sounds like a lot of fun to me. Okay, so I'm going to read one more story to you. And this story is from one of my favorite authors, and that is Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was great about inventing words and using his imagination to create different worlds. And all of his stories have so many different worlds and words, and he uses imagination so great. So I hope that you guys like this story and it sparks some interest for you to use your imagination. Okay? So, what we're going to read today is Oh, the Things You Can Think. Oh, the Things You Can Think by Dr. Seuss. You, you can think of some birds. That's what you can do. You can think about yellow or think about blue. You can think about red. You can think about pink. You can think of a horse. Oh, the things you can think. Oh, the things you can think of if only you try. If you try, you can think up a gust going by. Oh, and you don't have to stop. You can think about slop. Slop, slop, beautiful slop. Beautiful slop with a cherry on top. Can you imagine? Or you can think about gloves. You can think about snubs. You can think a long time about snubs and their gloves. You can think about Kitty O'Sullivan Krause in her big balloon swimming pool over her house. That would be awesome. Or think of black water. Think up a white sky. Think up a boat. Think of blues blowing by. You can think about night. A night and I'm up. The birds are asleep and the three moons are up. You can think about day. A day in the dake. The water is blue and the birds are awake. Think, think and wonder. Wonder and think. Hmm, how much water can 55 elephants drink? I wonder. You can wonder, huh, how long is the tail of a song? I don't know, but I'd like to think about it. There are so many thinks that a thinker can think. Would you dare yank a tooth of the rinker think? Wow, that guy's brave. And what would you do if you met a jaboo? Hmm, maybe say hi? Play paper, rock, scissors? Oh, the things you can think. Think of Peter the postman who crosses the ice once every day, and on Saturdays, twice. Look at those guys. Think. You can think anything that you wish. Think of a race on a horse, on a ball, with a fish. That'd be a great race. I think you'd win. Think of light. Think of bright. Think of stairs in the night. think. Think of a ship. Think up a long trip. Go visit the Vipper of Vip. And left. Think of left. And think about theft. Why is it that theft always go to the left? And why is it so many things go to the right? You can think about that until Saturday night. That's a lot of thinking. Think left and think right, and think low and think high. Oh, the things you can think up if only you try. The end. Guys, I hope that you had some fun today. I hope that you were able to think up some great things and come up with some great ideas about what you're going to do with this time that you have, because you have so many worlds and places wide open for you because you have your imagination. So have a great day. I hope you guys have a great day and you think wonderful things. Have a great day, guys.
Sorry, Jim, I'm trying to end it and it's just not letting me. Hold on. Bye.